Good afternoon. I want to tell you why I feel that the Central Valley's environment is nearly perfect for the growing tropical fruit trees. Why everyone should be growing mango trees, especially mango trees. I know I've mentioned this numerous times, but the Central Valley's climate is so unique in that we get almost all of the benefits of growing mango trees with practically like no downsides. Mango trees, regardless of the variety, it just does great here. They thrive here. And unfortunately, not a whole lot of people know about that. But I wanted to show you the different varieties of mango trees that I have growing here. So before I begin though, I feel that in the tropical fruit tree communities, especially the ones that grow in non-native climates, that mango, the growing of mango fruit trees tend to be kind of like the archway to other tropicals in that if you can grow mangoes, you can grow everything else. But I'm telling you, mango trees, they are just easy to grow once you understand the requirements. It is my opinion, okay, that the biggest hurdle that we've got, the only downside that you have to be considerate about is the soil. And I'll talk more into that. I'll go more into that topic, but I want to show you. So yeah, this is what I mean by they are like crazy to grow. Growing, thriving, flowering, and right around May, in a May, fruiting. So what you see here are, I want to say 4-year-old, yeah, 4-year-old Manila mango, world's sweetest variety, loaded with flowers, okay. So much so, I actually had to create this structural support here in preparations for the fruits. Not the flowers, not the branches. This is all in preparation for the fruits. This guy will be just so extremely loaded with fruits that it will break the branches without the additional assistance of the structural support. Yeah, I mean, 4 years old. That's what you're seeing. Yeah, this is it. World's sweetest variety. In fact, world's sweetest fruit. In the Philippines, I want to say it's also known as a Carabao mango, but it's commonly known as the Manila mango here in the U.S. Yeah, I'm telling you, loaded with different flowers. Next to its other buddy here, another Manila, the same state, loaded with flowers. Yeah. So the neat thing about growing mangoes in the Central Valley is the fact that we get the cooler temperatures. Mangoes, believe it or not, need the cooler temperatures in order for the tree to push out flowers. They need some coal, and we've got all the coal in the world. So on that topic, these two, I'm fairly certain, even though I've got them from industry, I'm fairly certain they were grown from seed, just because with the Manilas, they are true to seed, and they produce fruits at such a very early age that it doesn't make sense for them to be grafted. And also, I could not locate any union joints for these trees, so I'm fairly certain they were grown from seeds. But the ones that are not grown from seed, the mature trees, that is, either ear-layered or grafted units. The problem, okay, you are gonna find with mangoes growing in Central Valley, in California specifically, actually, is they want to produce fruits like as soon as possible, generally the next year that you've got them in the ground. And again, that is because of our favorable climate. I mean, as soon as winter's over, it warms up pretty quick. So this is what I mean. Coconut cream mango, okay? It's just a year in the ground. It's a grafted tree. It's a patented coconut cream variety. So look, it's flowering. Yeah, that's a death sentence. So the reason for that being a death sentence is if you let it fruit, it's not going to have enough energy to sustain itself through the summer and winter. So that being the case, for the next couple of years, for stuff that are in the ground anyway, I generally like to remove the flowers. Now, specific to mango trees, there's a particular unique technique that I go through. And that is not to remove the whole thing, but instead to remove most of it. I say maybe like 90% with a sanitized shear, of course, but remove most of it, not all of it. And in doing so, it's gonna it's gonna send a signal to the tree that, hey, I still got a flower here, and not to push out a new batch of flower. So by doing this, you are telling the tree to take a year or two off and instead just chill, just relax, and just get used to your new California home. Yeah, this is what you want to do. Otherwise, again, if you let this guy fruit, he is not going to have enough energy to make it to our summer and winter. So, and that's what I did with both of these trees here in the very early days. So now, next to him, a Mexican variety, Corriente mango, in the ground 4 or 5 years. He's mature, he's well acclimated. The nice thing about this particular variety is they don't get tall, they don't get big, that is. So they're pretty compact. That's why you see him at the sides, even though he's older than both of these guys here. But yeah, he's fruited every year after I've allowed it to fruit. Now, behind him, okay, check it out. For those that have been watching my video for quite some time, I want to say I put this guy in the ground 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, in November. At the time, I wanted to show everyone that these guys can definitely take the winter. And take the winter he did. I mean, look at how tall he is now. But yeah, I did see some flowers up there, so I'm expecting him to produce some fruits this year. So, so the thing with the mango trees, okay, soil, okay, big deal. For the most part in the Central Valley, if your soil is just plain old clay, you're probably gonna, the pH is probably gonna be right around 8 or so. The reason why pH matters for tropical fruit trees, especially mangoes, is the fact that when the pH is not at its required level, they basically just kind of starve. The nutrient is there in the soil, but they can't uptake the nutrient, and that's because of the pH not being in the right range. So once you can address that, and addressing the pH, of course, is just adding mulch. That's really the best long-term method, is adding a ton of mulch on top of your soil, and then therefore over a period of time, it slowly lowers the pH down to an acceptable level where everything that you put in the ground thrives. So going back to the mango, Kent mango, I need to give them some structural support, obviously. But oh yeah, look at him. And he's not getting a whole lot of sun. He gets, the way that I've got him positioned, he gets about morning sun. Look at him. Yeah, this is gonna be a pretty cool year. He gets about, I say maybe 5 hours worth of direct morning sun, and then after that, full shade. And they're okay with that. In fact, when you look at these two mangoes here on the street, thanks to the ice cream bean tree behind them, okay, come 3 o'clock, they get full shade. They much prefer the shade. So this is the nice thing about mangoes. They are very easy to be grown from seed. There's a Kent mango down there, going 2 years old. Another Kent mango here. Look at them. They do great when grown from seed. The one exception about growing from seed, or the one benefit about growing from seed as opposed to a grafted or mature tree, is the fact that they don't care about the soil pH. You put this guy in clay soil, it will grow. And that's what I did. Yeah, I didn't even have to amend the soil when putting this guy in the ground. But yeah, going 3 years old. Kid mango, awesome. Yeah. So I will say though, the reason why I've mentioned the sun exposure, especially morning sun, afternoon shade, is because of this reason. Okay, check it out, okay? You'll see this on avocado trees as well. The trunk, okay? Brown, right? This is a mature trunk. This is mature wood. This has an actual bark system. The new growth, look at the branches, all green. This is like baby skin. So this is why it's really important to protect them from the sun during the the young months. As this particular branch hardens or matures up, it hardens and becomes and forms, you know, the bark that you see here, and it's then able to tolerate the Central Valley's intense summer suns. But when I say protect, I'm talking just general microclimate. The nice thing with growing them from seeds, which both of these likely were, is the fact that the trees know to protect themselves. The trees know to strategically grow leaves to protect the branch. Unlike the grafted Kent mango here. I mean, yeah, this is a grafted tree, so it's just very limpy, and it just wants to produce fruit and not care about growth. But in the Central Valley, you want both. You want to have the tree care about growth and produce fruits at the same time. Let's take you to the back. I want to show you some more. Yeah, I've just been so impressed with the mangoes growing here. I mean, in the early days, I was very hesitant. I mean, most of my mangoes were in containers, and they actually, most of the mangoes in containers kept dying. And I did nothing to them at all. I mean, you know, I would go to the nurseries, get them in containers, leave them there, thinking that they would do great, right? Because, I mean, why wouldn't they? Because they came from the nurseries that way. But no, come to find, no, the problem with leaving them in nursery containers is the growing medium that they use. It is just not good. Think about it, okay? The whole idea behind nurseries, especially like wholesalers, is they just want the trees to be shipped into the customer's hand, and it becomes a customer's problem. Well, it became my problem. So in that case, if you can, if you're wanting to grow in a container, have sand, throw some perlite in there, volcanic rock in there, and have peat moss. If there's anything else, such as organic potting soil, the tree might grow for maybe a year or two, and then it's gonna go downhills and just die. Yeah, I've had a lot of that happen to me until I figure out that, hey, it's the grow medium. So yeah, this is what I mean by they are like crazy easy to grow from seed. I'm telling you, just grow 'em from seed. Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, generally 4 or 5 years they produce fruits just like the ones you've seen in the front. And like, who cares if it's not true to seed? Um, s- some mangoes are true to seed, while others are not. But again, who cares? Just because the mangoes you find in the store, okay, pick weeks, maybe even months ago from outside of the country, shipped here, and during the shipping process, okay, they have to be treated either through irrigation, which is fine, or worse, hot water, essentially boiling them. And I don't know if you've noticed, but anything that goes to hot water treatment, they taste kind of funky. It's kind of mushy. There's like generally a brown or dark spot in the middle. It's just bad. So just grow your own lemon zest. Combination of lemon meringue and one other variety. I'm blanking out on it. But yeah, flowering. Oh, this is a good example. During once the flowers pop, okay, it is going to be flies, not bees. Well, I'm sure bees help, but it is going to be mostly flies that do the pollination. So attract all the flies that you can. I mean, most of the time you don't need to because it's so fragrant anyway that the flies just come in and do their thing. But in the Central Valley, it is going to be mostly the flies that do the heavy duty of pollinating. So lemon zest, check it out. Don't mind the papaya there. I'm gonna put him back. But another one, look, flowering. You know what this guy is? That's a Lancetier mango. These guys produce like massive size mango fruits. You're talking like 5 pounds. So yeah, Lancetier. Let's uh let's show you some more examples. Yeah, again, I've just been so impressed with how they fare in the Central Valley that I've just like got them everywhere. Almost all of my mangoes are in the ground. So another one, a Florida variety, Floragon. Yeah, flowering. He's in the ground 3 years, so I'm gonna just let him set fruit this year because I mean, winter has not even touched him at all. He looks fine. A bit young, but you know what? I have pretty high level of confidence that he's going to be okay. So I'm just going to let him fruit this year. So let's see. Let me get to the other side here. I want to show you some more. All right, come on, you guys. Move it, move it, move it. Yeah, I'm telling you, I've just got them like all over the place. All right, check it out. Mangoes. Case or mango. I want to say he's a carry. Yeah. And of course, Valencia Pride. Valencia Pride, okay, they can grow kind of big. So all three of them are actually the same age, but as you can see, being that this is a particular variety, he just wants to grow big. Next to a crazy tall Manila. Look at that. Look at the size of the leaf. This is insane. But yeah, yeah. So now he's very young, okay, but all three of them are grafted. So I'm gonna, at the same time, just like the coconut cream in front, remove 90% of the flower bracts. And then that tells him to just take a few years off. Stop having babies. Just focus on your career. Let me see. Oh, check it out. These are the ones that I planted last year. These are all, I'm blanking out on the name, but they're all Thai varieties. But they do great here. Look at that. A Thai variety, Keo Savoy. Yeah, I'm telling you. Look, there's like a bee there. He's trying to land on a flower. But yeah, I'm gonna let him fruit this year. Same with this big old tall manila here. Yeah. So that's really. Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can have you come to the side. I wanted to show you this. So this is what a 2-year-old, well, I guess going 3 now, 2.5, I guess, mango tree looks like from Hawaii. Big old leaves, grown from seed. Golden glow mango. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yeah, just grow from seed. Just I went to Hawaii, got the fruits, um, somehow made back in California, and then put in the ground, and here it is. Yeah, and another one, Kent mango. Yeah, this guy is also grown from seed. But again, yeah, I'm just so impressed with the mangoes being able to grow here. So that's really the the gist of growing mangoes here in Central Valley. All right, have a good afternoon.